So guys, last class we started with leases chapter, which is accounting standard 19 for you. But before we went into AS 19, we've discussed a few concepts of time value of money, especially how to discount an annuity cash flow, how to frame an installment in a loan, equated annual installment, how to fix, all this we have seen, and then we have moved on to AS 19. So AS 19 lease transaction, how it defines a lease is a transaction where the legal owner of the asset conveys the right to use the asset to an user. The owner is called as the lessor, the user is called as the lessee. This lessee, since he is using the asset belonging to somebody else, he pays consideration in the form of lease rents each year. Now, how to do accounting of this lease transaction in the books of lessor, in the books of lessee. Lessee books, lessor books, accounting of lease, prima facie depends on whether the lease is classified as a finance lease or operating lease. And this classification, whether it is finance or operating, has to be done on the inception date. Inception date basically is nothing but the agreement date of terms and conditions. Lease, lessee, lessor will agree to certain terms. So this is a lease period. Asset GRV should be this much, lease rent should be this much. Our date of agreement is the date of inception. Our date is useful for only one thing, just to determine whether the lease is a finance lease or operating lease. Now, finance lease is that lease where if you observe the lease terms, you can conclude that lessee is the person who is enjoying the maximum benefits from the usage of the asset. That such cases are called as finance lease. In finance lease, since lessee is the person who is enjoying the maximum benefits from the usage of the asset, accounting is done with a prima facie assumption that lessee is the owner of the asset. Lessee is the owner of the asset means asset will be capitalized into the books of lessee, even though he is merely a user and he is not legally a owner. So even legally he is not owner, still I am capitalizing on the context that, on the premise that in substance over form. In substance he is the owner. Operating lease is a negatively defined definition. Any lease other than finance lease is an operating lease. There are 5 conditions or 5 situations in where a lease will be treated as a finance lease. In that, lease period constitutes major portion of the economic life of the asset, number 1. Next, the ownership of the asset passes on to the lessee by the end of the lease period, number 2. Number 3, the lease contains an option to buy the asset at a option price which is sufficiently lower than the expected fair value of the asset at the end of the lease term, number 3. Number 4, the present value of MLPs is substantially equal to the fair value of the asset on the inception date. And last one, the asset is of specialized nature, which can be used only by the lessee and not by anybody else unless a very major modifications are done to the asset. In 5 cases, a lease will be treated as a finance lease. Sir, if 5 conditions, one situation also not satisfied, sir. Cleanly, you are a operating lease. Now, if you have to do finance lease accounting, sir, there is some requirement for understand certain definitions. In that, the most important one is MLPs. MLPs is nothing but minimum lease payments. Calculation part is total lease rents payable by the lessee to the lessor, plus you have to add guaranteed residual value. Lessor also same definition, sir. There is no change except that guarantee can be given by either lessee or a party on behalf of lessee or any other third party. Lessee, these are outflows, lessor, that is inflow. And listen, when you are talking about MLPs, you are not going to do any discounting and all. Straight away you have to add. Next we discussed one concept called as GIL. GIL is gross investment in lease. GIL is something which is defined from lessor's point of view. Okay, GIL is nothing but in the lease transaction, what are the total cash flows you get? That is GIL. That means MLPs is anyway cash inflow to the lessor. Apart from that, UGRV of the asset also you have to factor in here. So, formula for that will be MLPs from lessor point of view plus unguaranteed residual value. So, how to calculate unguaranteed residual value? Question will give you residual value. Question will tell you out of your estimated residual value for how much did the lessee provide a guarantee? A remainder amount which nobody gave guarantee, but still you believe that God will be kind on me one day, I will freely receive some extra value. Our feeling is unguaranteed residual value, balancing kind calculation. Next, since GIL directly we added all the cash flows right from first year till the end of the lease term, we did not discount anywhere. Definitely GIL includes interest income of the lessor. Even though this fellow invested 10 lakhs to buy the asset, but overall he is recovering 13.5 lakhs, which means definitely he is charging interest income in that. Nil is present value of GIL, which means present value of MLPs plus present value of UGRV. The moment you discount, what happens is whatever interest income is included in GIL, that automatically gets eliminated, and nil does not include any component of interest. If I now take the difference between GIL and nil, that is the total interest income, since that is not yet earned and that will be earned over a period of time, as on today we call that as unearned finance income. Up to here we studied. Then last one, discounting rate. IRIL is interest rate implicit in lease. Now lessor point of view, if you see, this fellow purchases the asset today for 10 lakhs, over a period this is what he is recovering from you. He is definitely recovering interest in this, that much we can know. How much interest, if I want to know that, then you have to work out a discounting rate which equates the present value of future cash inflows to 10 lakh rupees today. If you work out that discounting rate will be your IRIL. Sir, how to work out this IRIL? For that there is no small technique, sir. You have to do trial and error. So try at one rate, you may pass, you may fail. Try at another rate, somewhere in between you have to do interpolation. How to do all that we will see as we go further into the chapter. Now, accounting for finance lease in books of lessee. Finance lease accounting in the books of lessee. First one, for capitalizing the asset and recognizing lease liability, so what entry will you write on day one for recognizing the asset and also recognizing a lease liability? That's all, no sir, simple entry. Asset on lease account debit. To whom do we owe this money? Lessor. Normally we call it as lessor only, but ideally what is correct is to use the term called as lease liability. The lessor only, sir, there is nothing else. Of course, brackets I am writing, you can call it as lessor also. Sir, ఈ entry ka logic is what? ఈ entry ni different ways lo you can understand. Okay, timing, first basic thought. When you buy an asset for cash, what is the entry? Asset to bank. Okay. You bought asset on credit. Asset accountable to vendor or creditor. That entry and you can think. Only thing is a vendor can have to make not a single payment, but I have to make installment payments over a period of time. Like that you can remember this. Or excuse me. Or you can think also like this. This lessee, he does not have money. Since he does not have money, he borrowed money. He borrowed money, so he bought a asset. Club both the entries. What is the entry? Asset account debit to loan account. Entry I wrote. And every year loan I have to repay now. I am repaying along with interest. Every year principal and interest I am paying. Are you understanding, sir? E entry is the background, sir. If you have this, it will be easy for you. Now next question. E entry should be passed with what amount? For which our standard says E entry should be recorded with lower of PV of MLPs discounted at IRIL or fair value of the asset. So standard gave you a guidance that lessee, whatever MLPs lessee has, all that MLPs you discount it to today, one present value will come, a present value to record the entry. Sir, but what is that lower fair value? What is all that? See, that much of applications you don't have, but still I'll tell you, if you understand, it's fantastic. Listen. Sir, I have lease rents over here. These are all my lease rents. What standard says is, since these are your kind of installments which you have to pay over a period of 5 years, all these installments discounted to today. Installments in what rate they should discount? Whatever interest rate is there, interest rate they have to discount. Who charged interest in lease payments? Lessor. So go to lessor, find out what is the interest rate implicit in lease, work out that, and using that IRIL you have to discount, sir, and you will be getting PV of MLPs. Ideally the correct way. But one more note point, I will make you write this later on. Sir, how will we know IRIL of the lessor? That is, IRIL is nothing but lessor ka IRR. Don't I know, today lessor is buying asset at what rate? Don't I know this? I know. Lease rents anyway I know, because I am only going to pay this. So can't I interpolate and work out IRR here? I can work out. That means, even though interest rate implicit in lease is a lessor thing, but I can also work out his IRR. Sir, when I take a bank loan, don't I know how much money bank is making in this? Whatever I am paying, that only bank is making, isn't it? Can't I know the interest rate there? Like that, lessor also can work out. But sometimes, suppose lessor has given you not a new asset, but his existing asset on lease. In that case, you might not be knowing the fair value of the asset. Therefore, you might not be knowing the IRIL. When IRIL you do not know, what our standard says is, go and use your borrowing rate. Lessee, if he freshly borrows money, look at this. If lessee borrows money today, at what interest rate can he borrow? Our interest rate to work out PV of MLPs. Basically, for me it is borrowing only, no? Borrowing, how much interest will I pay? How much the other fellow will charge, that much interest I will pay. Who is the other fellow? Lessor. Go to lessor, ask what is your IRIL. If he tells you, bring that, use it. If he does not tell you, go to bank, ask bank, if I take loan from you today, this much amount, how much interest rate I have to pay? Bank will quote some rate, our rate to discount it. So PV of MLPs is something will work out like that. Now you see one small issue is there here. Suppose, sir, PV of MLPs came to 1,90,000. Asset ka fair value came to 2 lakhs. How our thinking should go is, market lo if asset I buy today, its worth is 2 lakhs. But I am paying some lease rents over a period of time that is as good as today I am paying an amount of 1,90,000 present value. So asset is recorded at cost, no? So what is cost for me? 1,90,000 only. So I'll record only at 1,90,000, whichever is a lower scenario, sir. Why lower? And not because I like lower number. Cost ki you have to record, sir. Whatever I am paying, adi cost avutundi. So cost is whatever I pay. So I am paying 1,90,000, so 1,90,000 ka record. Okay. Now, some rare cases, what can happen is, when you do PV of MLPs, suppose it's coming to 2,15,000. I agree. What I am paying is lease rent. Our lease rents ka present value is coming to 2,15,000. So 2,15,000 only is cost, no? Correct. 2,15,000 is cost. But the asset when outright you can buy at 2 lakhs, but here indirectly I am buying at 2,15,000. Now you ask yourself whether you buy the asset or you lease the asset. Asset ka benefits will not change, no? Sir, there is an asset, sir. Asset life 5 years. 5 years you will only use. Whether you are a lessee, whether you are an owner, asset will behave differently. Yeah? Asset ka capability will be same, no? What our standard feels is, in cases where PV of MLPs is more than the fair value, if you use PV of MLPs in that case, ante ee entry suppose 2,15,000 to you record this entry, what problem is there is you are overstating the asset. Asset market worth is how much? 2 lakhs say, but you are recording it at 2,15,000. Why to artificially inflate the value of the asset when its worth is only 2 lakhs? Therefore, standard says we will restrict ourselves only to 2 lakhs. That's why we say PV of MLPs or fair value, whichever is lower. Primary rule, whatever I pay, that only I want. At the same time, I don't want the asset to be overvalued. So keeping these two things in mind, a formula means a particular rule is developed, sir. Okay, next. At the end of each period. So first day entry is over, sir. First day accounting is done. Go to first year ending. Your first year, second year, third year, every year, same drama. What you have to do is, interest expense account debit. Interest expense, you may also call it as a finance charge. If you want, write that name also in the brackets. Interest expense account debit 2. Tell me, sir, when you pay interest, what is the entry? Interest to bank. When interest you did not pay, what is the entry? How you did not pay, no, sir, no entry, yeah? No, you still have to record an entry. What is the entry? Interest account debit to interest payable, interest accrued, interest outstanding. Correct? Until now that expense I booked, I have to create a liability. I need not create separate liability. Already a liability is there. Our liability can add that. So, interest expense account debit to lease liability. This is which year ka interest? First year ka interest. Now carefully think, analyze and answer. Our lease liability first original entry low, interest is there, only principal. Only principal. Now you added interest to that lease liability. Now your lease liability account represents total principal plus interest of first year. Correct? Now I pay installment. E installment of first year interest is there. First year some principal amount also is there. So when I pay, the entry will be lease liability account debit to bank. This is my lease rent paid. You call it as lease rent, you call it as installments, all one and the same. Next. Since you have capitalized the asset, on that asset you need to provide depreciation. So provide depreciation account debit to, you can write accumulated depreciation or you can directly credit asset also, whatever you like, you can do. Now, every year, sir, these 3 entries are common, sir. You booking interest expense, you paying the installment, you booking depreciation. Out of these 3 entries, this will be transferred to debit side of P&L because that's an expense. Same is the case with depreciation. If you want to consider a transfer entry also, P&L to interest expense to depreciation. Write what is there. You are still learning only, no? You can write. The transfer entry, sir. Like this, every year if you do, throughout the lease period, by the end of the lease, your lease liability balance will become 0. Asset balance also will become 0. In this, sir, over. Let's say point of accounting, only this much. In this, what we have to remember correctly is a first rule. PV of MLP is discounted at IRIL or fair value of the asset, whichever is lower. Now here, IRIL put a small star mark and explain that star mark somewhere. If IRIL of lessor is not available, then use incremental ante extra, sir, or fresh incremental borrowing rate of lessee as discounting rate. So this is the rule what we have, guys. Good, sir. We can actually hit sums based on lessee, but before we do that, we will also handle case of lessor and at once we'll hit the sums. Okay. Chalo, sir. Put the heading accounting for finance lease. in books of lessor. Tell me, sir. Here, lessor books lo first entry is this. Purchase of asset wala entries and all we will not write, sir. Even though that happens, since that is not a lease transaction, he is buying an asset. So entries we skip. Directly we write this entry. Lease receivables account debit. The amount from whom I have to receive? Lessee ninche have to receive. So you can debit lessee account also, but is the appropriate word. Lease receivable account debit to asset given up. Since I am giving away asset, I am crediting the asset and killing it. E entry, sir. At net investment in lease. Net investment in lease की entry have to pass. Net investment in lease is nothing but PV of MLPs plus PV of UGRV. So ये entry you should pass. From this one small important observation is there. You must all catch this correctly. Lessee books lo lease liability. Lessor books lo lease receivable amount need not match. They need not match. Why they need not match is, think of lessee recorded lease liability at PV of MLPs alone, whereas this fellow is recording lease receivables at PV of MLPs plus PV of UGRV. Sir, what if UGRV is 0? Then they both will match. Yes, they both will match provided IRIL he is using. Discounting rate should be IRIL, then both will match. Here anyway IRIL only this fellow will use because he knows his interest rate is implicit in lease because he only charged that. But if that fellow uses incremental borrowing rate, then again they will not match. So there, if at all a question comes where lessee and lessor both accounting you got to do, then don't get any panic that the numbers are not matching. They need not match. Why then if prima facie rule is different, no ma? Here asset is going away. Asset what benefits asset is capable of giving? 5 years ke lease rent it will give. 5th year lo guaranteed residual value lessee will bring and give me. But the asset on its own is also capable of giving me UGRV. Asset gone, asset place lo asset ka cash flows ka present value I am recording here. E entry ki original logic is this. Tell me, sir, when I buy an asset, what is the entry rate? Asset to bank. Now, the asset I gave it to somebody on a credit basis. I sold the asset on credit. What is the entry? I sold this asset to somebody on credit sale. That's all. Debtor account debit to asset. If both entries if you club, asset died. What is the effective entry? Debtor to bank. Now carefully observe. Debtor to bank is nothing but loan given account debit to bank only. When you give loan to somebody, what is the entry rate? Loan receivable account debit to bank. A lease receivable is nothing but a loan receivable. Why entry is not visible is I only wrote the second part here. Only E part I wrote. Asli asset, how did he get I entry also if I write? It will look like a proper loan given transaction. Loan given transaction accounting you have to do. There is no asset. Asset and the drama. Asset is a joker there. This fellow's goal is interest income, not to sell the asset. So that's how it works. But anyway, in your books they start with this, so I also started with that. But background this is also there. So effectively the loan transaction. Okay, next. Second, second point. At the end of each period, lessee booked interest expense. Lessor will book interest receivable, interest income you have to book. Tell me, if you receive interest, what is the entry? Bank to interest. If you did not receive interest, interest receivable account debit to interest. Interest receivable An account don't create. Already lease receivable is there. Use that only. Lease receivable account debit. Debit to interest income. You can also call it as finance income. Both are okay. Next. That fellow pays you installment, collect money nicely. So your receivables are giving you money. Bank account debit to. Now, this fellow does not have asset anymore. So there is no question of you charging depreciation and all. Because already asset what he purchased here only went off here. So the asset is not there in his books. Asset is derecognized. So depreciation case will not arise. But having said that, this will go to P&L. A P&L can transfer into record. In fact, lessor books accounting is much more simple than lessee. One entry less also. A higher lower drama also not there. Straight nil you have to record. Nil net investment in lease. Over. That's it. Sir, in this there are a lot of issues and all, but they are not part of your syllabus. Unnecessarily, we will not create things for you. Whatever we are doing is exactly what you require. Chalo sir, we can hit some questions with this. In fact, a lot of them. We invested so much of time in learning finance lease, all the definitions and stuff. But operating lease will get over in 10 minutes. Entire discussion right from yesterday till today is only for making you understand these entries. Operating lease will take 10 minutes. Sale and leaseback some 40 minutes. Over standard. Main is finance lease only, which we have completed theoretically. Sums we got to see. Let's see. Please come to question number 1. Page number 71. Following are some of the cases given. Classify with reasons whether the following is a finance or operating lease. Number 1. All 5 are independent cases, sir. First one. Y Limited wishes to obtain a machine tool costing rupees 20 lakhs by way of lease. Okay. The effective life of the machine tool is 12 years, but the company requires it only for the first 5 years. Now, what is the first condition? Is the lease period forming the major portion of the life of the asset? No. First condition, first situation, I am not following. Leave it. It enters into an agreement with R for a lease rent of 2 lakhs per annum. The finance director of Y Limited is not sure about the treatment of the lease rents and hence requests your assistance in proper disclosure for the same. For calculation purposes, implicit rate of interest IRIL is 15%. PV factors he only gave you. I got from 12 years back. Final question, sir. Today's CA final law AS 19 is not there. The only place AS 19 is your exam. Okay, so don't think that I am teaching final question. Is it 12 years back final question? And today's IPCC question only. Don't worry. Yeah, answer this. Sir, listen. First thing. You have 5 situations now. One by one we will evaluate. Lease period forming major portion of economic life of the asset? No. Out. Next. In the question, did they tell you that lessee will automatically become the owner? Nope. Leave that. Did the question say that there is an option to buy the asset at a cheaper rate? No. Leave that. Is it a specialized nature of asset? No. Leave that. This last condition. What is that? PV of MLP is whether it's substantially equal to the fair value of the asset or not. You have to check. Now, PV answer is given, so you do not see that. You watch here. PV of MLPs. How many years have to pay lease rent, sir? 5 years. 5 years is same lease rent, hai na? If 5 years same lease rent, is that an annuity cash flow? First year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, annuity. Annuity cash flow ka present value formula? Cash flow into PV IFA I have to do. So just to take 2 lakhs and you have to multiply it with PV IFA. What is the rate given? 15% up to 5 years. We know how to calculate that, but wait. Whenever question gives you PV factors, Never show your own talent. Why? Because they sometimes give PV factor so that you will get round numbers and all. If we calculate, again some ugly number will come. Moreover, if the question gives you PV factor, all students will have uniform answer. At correction easy open, sir. That's the reason, not to help you. Okay. Anyway, sum total all the PV factors 0.87 plus 0.76 plus 0.66 plus 0.57 plus 0.50, that comes to 3.36. So 3.36 into 2. 6.72 lakhs. Ask yourself, is 6.72 lakhs representing substantially the fair value of the asset today? Fair value of the asset enta sir? 20 lakhs. 6.72 hardly some 35% it is coming. Yeah, out. Not a finance lease. It's a clear cut case of an operating lease. Next. F Limited has newly set up its pharma business. It has installed a huge plant which will be used only by F Limited without any modifications at a monthly rent of 10 lakhs. This is a specialized nature asset. It falls into category of finance lease. Next. K Limited leased out its assets to R Limited at 5,000 per month for 6 years, after which the asset will be retained by paying rupees 30,000 at the end of 5th year. Until this is an option to buy? Yes, continue. Residual value at the end of 5th year is estimated at 40,000. Now what do you feel? The option to buy will be excised or will not be excised? Asset fair value at the end of 5th year is estimated to be 40. But as a lessee, I have a right to buy this at 30. What do you think? I will buy or I will not buy? I will buy. That means eventually I am going to become the owner of the asset? Yes, therefore this will become a finance lease. R Limited leased out a machine to S Limited at a rent of 60,000 per annum for 7 years. The life of the machine is also 7 years. The machine after the lease period will revert back to the lessor. Em chesukovalam sir? I mean to say, asset life 7 years sir. You gave the asset to me for 7 years lease. I used it. After that you will come and take it, it seems. What is the use of taking it, sir? Asset literally I would have used it completely. So am I an owner in substance? Yes, therefore it is a finance lease. Second question I only framed, will not come, don't worry. Okay, right, anyway. Question number 2. A Limited has taken a machine on lease from B Limited and the fair value of the machine is 1,10,000. The agreed lease rents are 30,000, 40,000 and 50,000 for years 1, 2 and 3 respectively. GRV given by the lessee is 10,000. Show the accounting in the books of the lessee for all the 3 years. Full accounting is asking for all the 3 years. Easy one is it looks like that, nothing is there. Come. So if one question, complete one if you solve, no, remaining questions are same type, you can see and wind up. Sir, lessee books over the first entry. Asset on lease account debit to lease liability. Our entry should be recorded with what amount? PV of MLPs. So have to work out PV of MLPs, no? Are they working out number 1? Present value of MLPs. Carefully observe, in this sum, your lease rents every year same or different? Since it is different, you cannot use annuity factor anyway. So you do individual discounting only, draw a table. Here, MLPs, PV factors at the rate of 12%, PV of MLPs, 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 400 out is coming up. 30,000, 40,000 and 50,000. 5th year ending case, this fellow also provided a GRV of 10,000 also. So PV factors 12%. They did not give, no, you only work out 0.89, 29, 0.7972, 0.7118, 0.7118, 0.6355, but we don't need that. Leave it. I am having here 101,383. 101,383 is the PV of MLPs. So guys, this is your PV of MLPs. Now under this only write asset shall be capitalized and lease liability recognized at lower of PV of MLPs, which is what we just now computed, or fair value. Fair value question they should give you, please check it. No, 1,10,000, no? Whichever is lower. So this fellow got selected. I'm just checking whether the study material did something right or wrong. Anyway, it's okay. Right, sir. Next point. Depreciation on the asset. Working out number 2. Asset is equal to. See, asset you have capitalized at 101,383. Lease period is 3 years. So you have to depreciate over a period of 3 years. Now here, one small judgment is there. That's why nobody will talk about this in questions. Your study material also did not say anything about this part of the game. This is assumption, sir. Now listen. Did I promise some residual value to the lessor? How much did I promise? 10,000. That means if I believe that asset ka worth will be 10,000 rupees at the end of lease period 3rd year, then ultimately you tell me, 10,000 do I need to pay or need not pay? I believe that asset value will be 10,000. I promise it 10,000 to you, okay. But what I believe is asset value actually will be 10,000. If asset value also is 10,000 at the end of 3rd year, do I need to pay you this or not required? Not required. But if it is 0, then I have to pay you 10,000. Now, what will happen at the end of 3rd year? Will anybody know today? Nobody will know. So this residual value is a matter of estimate only. 10,000 what I wrote here is a promise. So this is a promise made to lessor. Really I have to pay the 10,000 or no? Depends on the actual value of the asset at the end of 3rd year, which I believe it to be. I don't know what I believe. Question they did not give. So if you believe that asset value will be 0, sir, no problem. Is any depreciation, whatever you get like this. But if you believe that asset value will be 10,000 at the end of 3rd year, then this will be the amount of your depreciation. So whether you take residual value into consideration or not depends on what you believe the asset value will be after 3 years. I promised 10,000. Just because I promised 10,000 does not necessarily mean that I also believe that the value will be 10,000. Maybe I'm willing to pay 10,000 extra. So we can't know that. So I'm just taking what ICA has done. ICA very conveniently, what they did, entry they did not rate. So depreciation side entry they totally eliminated. Once you eliminate, how will you find what is ICA thinking? So that way is not working, sir. So it's a matter of assumption. So let us not consider this value there. Okay. So if I ignore that, so it will be 101,383 divided by 3. 33,794. Here I'm writing one point. Residual value at end of year 3 is assumed to be 0, even though we promised rupees 10,000. Alternatively, we can assume it to be rupees 10,000 residual value, and depreciation in which case will be equal to 101,383 minus 10,000 divided by 3, 30,461. Sir, both are correct only, sir. It's just a matter of your assumption. And depending on how you assume here, a final accounting in the lease will change. Either way, whatever you want, you can take, sir. The assumption also is correct. 30,461. Okay, that's it, sir. We are through. We can write the entries. Journal entries in the books of lessee. First day for asset and liability recorded. The entry for this will be, he bought a building. What is that? Machinery. Machine. Machine on lease account debit to lease liability 101,383. This is first day entry, sir. Every year I have to record entries. But what we have understood is, whether it is first year, second year or third year, my entries are same, no? When your entries are same, you can tabulate them. Like, accounting at end of each year. What I'm trying to do is, I'll put like this. First year, second year, third year. Entry I'll write only once, amounts each year, separately I will record. Okay, next. First entry, sir, from lessee books, you have to book interest cost, no? Interest expense account debit to lease liability. Sir, with what amount? Under this amount column, brackets low, bottom low, 101,383. What is the interest rate used? 12%. So 12,166. This is your first year interest. B bit. Pay the lease rent. Lease liability account debit to bank. How much is your first year installment, sir? 30,000. Pay. Transfer entries you need not write and show, sir. Just P&L and brackets if you indicate, that should be enough. If you transfer also, it's okay. Depreciation account debit to asset account. Now here, which amount of depreciation you will take? Are purely assumption, sir. Your wish, anyone you can take. If you assume that residual value will be 0, take 33,000. If you feel that, sir, on one side we are only promising, no sir, 10,000 residual value will be there, so it is appropriate to take 10,000 residual. If you feel that, take that, no problem. Anything you take, it's okay for me. Answer both ways, it will match. Finally, you will observe the impact also. 460. I am assuming that residual value will be there. It's up to you, sir, either way. Before you write second year interest, here balance in lease liability account you have to write. First day lease liability you recorded at 101,383. Here A bit you added, credit means add on, liability K. So you add 12,166. Second entry minus 30,000. So that is 83,000 549 credit balance. Sir, liabilities ki further credit is plus, debit is minus. Asset ki further debit is plus, credit is minus. Liabilities will have credit balance, no? So more credit means it will increase. Assets ki debit balance will be there. Chalo sir, next 83,549 into 10%. Correct. 12%. That's 10,026. Second year payment is 40. Depreciation will not change. 83,549 plus 1026 minus 40,000. 53,575 credit I am having. Okay, next. Here 53,575 into 12%. Sir, listen here. Don't write that. Wait. Last year, what is your lease payment? 50,000 lease payment, 10,000 GRV is there. At 10,000, whether I will really pay or not depends on whether the asset value is more than 10,000 or less than 10,000. Correct? No. So forget about the 10,000 part first. Plain lease payment I have to pay. Don't write anything. Watch. Idi pakka sir. In this there can't be any change. Idi anyway it's okay. 3461. The amount should be how much? Can you guess? By the end of third year, I paid everything except one payment, GRB. Had I paid that GRB also, 60,000 had a return, then it would have been 0. Are you getting it, sir? Sir, see, go to your original lease payment schedule. 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 10,000. Total 4 payments are there. In the 3 I made. So remaining outstanding should be only one payment, which is also at the end of the same year. So 10,000 should be the closing balance representing your GRV. If you tell me that, sir, asset value 0, sir. Asset value 0, then how much I have to pay to the lessor? 10,000. Pay 10,000, lease liability account will become 0. Like that. So whether that will become 0 or not depends on what is the asset value. But time being, we'll analyze that. You leave that part aside. Only 50,000 you paid. Sir, interest, how much I should write? Interest, sir, balancing figure, sir, because I want my closing balance to be GRV amount. So you balance it. How much I should pay? Sorry, how much interest I should record? Originally, if I do 53,575 into 12%, it's coming to 6429. 6429, if I write it may not match. So work out correctly, sir. 53,575. 53,575 is the opening balance of the lease liability. My closing should be 10,000. I pay 50,000. How much interest I should record? 60,000 minus 53,575. That is coming to 6425. This is balancing figure, sir. If I originally do, it's coming to 6429. 4 rupees you ignore. 4 rupees also if you catch, no problem. Your GRV will not look good. It will be 9996 or something like that. So make your GRV look good. If you leave the answer here also, he'll be very, very happy with you. Nobody will ask you what happened because nobody ever discussed how to handle that climax. It depends now. Okay. Anyway, come here. Balance sheet at the end of year 3. Asset on lease. Originally recorded at 101,383. Every year I am depreciating at 30,461 for a period of 3 years. So your asset balance should be exactly equal to 10,000. Who is 10,000? There is nothing but GRV. You factored GRV into depreciation. No, that portion is not depreciated. At 10,000 will stay like that. Coincidentally, your lease liability amount also appears at 10,000. That's nothing but your GRV amount. Now it depends how the accounts will get closed. For example, if value of asset at year 3 is 13,000, think and tell me how much I have to pay to the lessor. One shot, correct answer I want. How much I have to pay to the lessor? 0? Sure? Why 0? I promised that asset value will be equal to 10,000. But actually asset value is 13. Do you need to pay any compensation to him? Nothing. Until you ask yourself, the liability is there or no? Not there. Books it is there, but really I have to pay? No. The asset also is going away. Amounts are also matching. What are you waiting? Kill them. Kill them. Amount payable to lessor is equal to 0. Since 13,000 more than 10,000, nothing needs to be paid. So then what to do? What to do? Close both of them. Original first day, whatever entry you wrote, reverse it. Once you do this, the balance sheet lo asset disappeared, liability disappeared, lease transaction accounting over, finance lease. Next. For example, if value of asset at year 3 is equal to 0. Sir, enta pay cheyali sir? Very nice. Amount payable to lessor is equal to 10,000. Nice. That means as lease liability I have to pay, I did not pay. Okay, I have to pay. My books asset is appearing at what value? It's appearing at 10,000, but its worth is worth 0. So, a asset whose worth is 0 is sitting in my balance sheet at 10,000. That's loss, sir. Our loss first book cheskuni. Our lease liability 10,000 pages sent, sir. What are the entries? P&L account debit to asset on lease. This is the loss in asset. B, you have to pay to that fellow, no? Lease liability account debit to bank. Sir, if you can tell me, understand why 10,000 loss you suffered, it will be very beautiful. Tell 10,000 loss, why will I suffer? You know what is that? Go back to your initial calculations of depreciation. We charged 30,761. There was one more calculation. 30,461. There was one more calculation for depreciation. 33,794. If you believed on first day only that asset ka value is 0, then you should have charged a depreciation of 33,000. But first day you believed that asset will be worth 10,000. So your depreciation amount came to only 30,461. Every year how much did you save impact on P&L? Expense reduced, no? Check how much? 33,794 minus 30,461. Every year how much did you save expense in P&L? 3,333. Like that for how many years? Into 3. But 10,000 you escaped, no? But 10,000 ochayalga sir P&L came off. Are you understand? There is no magic here. Idantha assumptions are what you thought. If that is not matching, bring 10,000 now. It will have to come to 10,000 pakka P&L raval sir. With some name it has to come. Like that. Unless the asset really has worth of 10,000 or more. Okay, last case, you guess the accounting. Very easy actually. Asset value at the end of year 3 is 6,000. I have to pay 4,000. Okay, first we'll write that. The 10,000 I promised, 6,000 a value, so 4,000 I owe him. Yeah. Entries, sir, entries. Feeling correct, maths. Accounting now. Balance sheet lo position always remember. This one position. How much liability did I record? 10,000. Of which I have to pay only 4,000. It is 6,000 extra on, sir. Not required. Asset emo appearing at 10,000. What to do? First, sir, you don't think too much. Above case, e case is same. First, realize that. Above case, total 10,000 you have to pay. Here, you have to pay only 4,000. Above case, whatever you did, do that again. As above case, what was the first entry? Asset loss, did you book or not? Above case, loss was 10,000. Today, loss is? Today, loss is 4,000. Book that loss. First, book that loss. P&L account debit to asset on lease 4,000. Why 4,000? Asset worth 6,000 but it is appearing in my books at 10,000. So overstated value I am booking it off. B. Lease liability account close it 10,000 but I need to pay only 4,000. Sir, 6,000 what will you do, sir? Asset will go back, no sir. Asset value 6,000 but that is not your asset anymore over lease period. Ichcheyal, sir. Asset on lease, give it back 6,000. It is full original accounting of lease accounting, lessee books. Start throughout the lease period, climax. Climax of what will happen, God only knows out of 3. But there can't be a fourth situation. Either I will not pay anything or I will pay something, or exactly coincidentally like my amounts match. So that's all. There can't be any other situation. I just wanted, I covered everything as I know. Okay, now whatever we did above, ఇది మనం ఎంట్రీస్లో we wrote, no? The same thing ఒక table also you can perform without writing entries. Table also you can see what is happening over the period of 3 years. So right, statement of, sir, I am teaching you the full version. Exam lo whatever they ask, you will do only that. I will show you exam questions. You will be asked only 1 or 2 small bits out of this entire thing. Most probably they will ask you accounting for first year. First year means what entries you have to write? First day ka entry. First year 3 entries are there, 3 entries right. Over, sir, story. Or much more easy question. Calculate PV of MLPs. It is popular in your exam. PV of MLPs, how to calculate? Discount and leave, that's what. Calculate unearned finance income. That is lesser type question. E type of questions only they are asking most probably. 1 or 2 good questions are also there. We will talk about that. Sorry, statement of lease liability is nothing but loan liability statement we have drawn yesterday. Our statement you have to draw. Please do. Lease liability is loan only. Particulars 1, 2, 3. Opening balance 101,383. Add interest at the rate of 12%. Already computed, now bring it on. 12,166 minus lease payment first year ki 30,000. $83,549. This is closing balance. $10,000, 26, 40,000 I will pay. 53,575. Huh? Last year interest which is balancing figure. No, now look at this. When you prepare a table, balancing figure life will be much more easy because I will pay lease payment of 50 only. This should be equal to my 10,000 which is GRV balance. Here balancing figure you take 6425. There were 1 or 2 questions where they asked you to apportion the lease payment. Lease payment apportionment that only. In this lease payment, this much interest is there, balance is principal. This much is interest is there, balance is principal, like that. Okay. Last questions are little less likely for exam, but since you are pro, I don't have a choice but to teach you this. Sir, if I am preparing balance sheet at the end of first year, liability side, sir, I am drawing a T-shape so that you will understand. E 83,549 will come on the liability side, pakka. But you tell me, E 83,549 lo, how much is current and how much is non-current? Current and non-current liability, you understand? Current liability is whatever is payable within the next 12 months. Beyond 12 months is non-current. Now, E 83,549 lo, some portion you have to pay within next 12 months. Some portion you have to pay beyond 12 months. Whatever is payable within 12 months, that is a current. Beyond 12 months is non-current. How will you know that? What is there, sir? 40,000. Wrong answer. Why? E 40,000 low, second year interest is there. But E 10,000 is not there in this 83,549. E 83,549 is purely the principal amount. So what I have to work out is next to 1 year how much principal amount I am going to pay. That's the current liability. Sir, is this principal only? Okay, let's start. Is the principal? To that, did I add interest? E interest is already paid in this 30,000. So a closing balance is still principal only. Out of this much principal liability, how much principal liability is likely to be paid within the next 12 months? That is current liability. Good. Next 1 yearly, I am actually going to pay 40,000. But 40,000 principal amount? No. In that, how much interest is there? 10,000. Remove that. You will get some number. That number is your current liability. Beyond that, anything else is non-current liability. Did you understand this? Yeah. Why I am teaching you this is, when you read study mat, that fellow giving you detailed disclosure, one page he wasted, which anyway you will not read. In that he asked you, split the lease liability, lease receivables both into current and non-current. So, just if you don't like that balance sheet presentation, casually we will do. Balance sheet at year 1, under this, lease liability, right, lease liability is equal to 83,549 principal amount payable within next 12 months. Actually, next 12 months you have to pay 40, but a 40 local 10,000 is not yet due today. That will get due in the next year only. Forget about that 10,000 now. 10,026, remove it. It's 29,974. This is presented in balance sheet as current liability. Beyond this, whatever is there, that you don't calculate, balancing figure తీసుకోండి. If you see the above table, you will understand what is that 53,575. That's it, sir. The accounting in the books of lessee. Start during end presentation. Depreciation will go to depreciation heading in P&L. Interest expense will go to finance charges heading in the P&L account. Asset normally balance sheet lo non-current assets PPE lo it will sit. Asset on lease. If you are done with this, immediate next question, already solved question, go through it. AD Softex Limited has taken assets on lease from ACS Impex Limited. The following information is given below. Lease term given, fair value today 16 lakhs, lease rent is 5 lakhs per annum, GRV is 1 lakh, expected residual value is 3 lakhs. So wait there, look at this language. Expected residual value of 3 lakhs, but guarantee is given only for, which means therefore UGRV is equal to 2 lakhs. IRR he only gave it to you 14.97%. Study matter similar sum is there where he rounded it up to 15%. It's okay, leave him. Do the accounting in the books of lessee. Don't see, think. Lessee accounting no first step is what? You calculating PV of MLPs. MLPs means which cash flows will you consider? 5 lakhs every year for a period of 4 years. At the end of 4th year you will take only 1 lakh. Not 3 lakhs, not 2 lakhs. Only 1 lakh. GRV alone. Okay sir? Discount everything to today. This fellow already did. He got it as 14,85,590. What is the fair value of the asset? 16 lakhs. Whichever is lower, 14 lakhs only. So capitalize the asset at 14 lakhs. Then 14 lakhs 85,000 that. Every year apportionment of finance lease and he is making something. What is that apportionment of finance lease? That's nothing but the tables are what we have drawn. We have drawn 1, 2, 3 like this. He put 1, 2, 3 in the columns. Matter mottam same to same. Opening balance, interest, lease payment, closing balance. Can you do that? Yeah. Some questions, so sir, they'll directly ask you to do this table and leave it. No, actually, what he asked is accounting. What he did is only the table. Why? In that only accounting is there if you carefully observe. What is the first entry? Asset on lease to lease liability. With what amount? E amount. First year. Interest expense account debit to lease liability. With first year interest charge. This. Like that. Lease payment, lease liability to bank. First year lease liability 5 lakhs. Like that you have to go on. These people study mat law, outside reference book law. Last year what is happening, they will not give you. But I already told you, last year what actually happens depends on what is the real value of the asset. Based on that our accounting will follow. Okay. That's why when we are asked to do full accounting, we will go to that level where closing balance should be GRV and leave it out there. Fourth question. AD Softex Limited has taken the assets on lease from ACX Impex Limited. Same data set this time also. Only thing is you have to do accounting from the point of view of lessor. This we will do in our notes, sir. Please come. Question number 4. At least first year accounting, right? Accounting in the books of lessor. ACX Impex Limited. Recognize lease receivables at net investment in lease, which is equal to PV of MLPs plus PV of UGRP. Sir, you can draft a table and neatly work out. That is one style. Or every year anyway my lease rent income is same, 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs. Annuity factor to single shot you can finish it off like that also. Either way answer will be same, no. Just because you do a table different answer will come, no. So either way answer will be same. So 5 lakhs every year into PVIFA, discounting rate 14.97% up to 5 years plus GRV. How much is GRV? 1 lakh. 1 lakh is coming every year or only 1 year? Only 1 year. Which year? 5th year. So PVIF. UGRV also comes only once. 5th year. PVIF 14.97%. It's not 5 years, huh? Okay, 4 years then. 4 years it is. My bad. Please make it 4. Good that you told, otherwise it will not match. Okay, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. First fourth year का PV factor if I write later on at 1 second plus GT. We are calculating something, but this entire thing is a kind of waste calculation that you will realize after doing anyway. How much did you get? You should have got 16 lakhs 70. Sir, do you know how to calculate this one? 1 divided by 1.1497 is equal to GT. If you don't press GT, e fourth year PV factor will be there in front of you. Press GT, e number will come off. Now you see, in the question data, observe, is there any number which is close to 16 lakhs? I got 16 lakh 70 answer. Question, is there any number which is near to this number? Fair value. How much fair value? 2 lakhs. Yesterday I told you, nil and fair value both will be same. Had you applied that, you would not calculate this. Why they will be same? Sir, PV of MLPs, if you discount with IRIL, you will be getting nil. IRIL definition, if you go and see, what did he say? Interest rate implicit in lease, that discounting rate which equates the PV of MLPs and PV of UGRV to the fair value of the asset. So nil and fair value both should be same. Same we got, no? The rounding of error, 70 rupees, don't fight for that. Don't fight for chiller. The rounding of that will come anyway. The rounding of mistake is not with me. That's not 14.97 exactly. That fellow rounded off. So this is nearly equal to 16 lakhs, which is nothing but the fair value of the asset. Nice, sir, nice. Next. That's all. Write the entry, sir. Lease receivable account debit to asset. You want to write 16 lakh 70, you can write, but that should be ideally 16 lakhs, sir. If you now think about the story what I told you, a lessor fellow will first go and buy the asset today. At what rate? 16 lakhs. Now, with the asset he will give it off. Lease receivable account debit to asset. E-entry also we are recording at 16 lakhs. Asset died. Effectively the entry is lease receivable account debit to bank. That I am actually calling it as a loan receivable to bank. You gave loan to somebody, and that somebody will be paying you installments. Accounting you have to do. There is no asset accounting. You are namesake lessor, but actually you are a lender of money. At the end of year 1 year curate, that's enough. lease receivables account debit to finance income or interest income. 16 lakhs are recorded into 14.97%. 239,520. First year my installment I will be receiving is 5 lakhs. I will not have any depreciation because I bought the asset and I gave up the asset. Interest income, just put it up in your P&L account. That's enough, sir. 1 year is more than enough. Now, please pick up sixth question. Question number 6. An equipment is leased for 3 years and its life is 5 years. Both the cost and the fair market value of the equipment is 3 lakhs. The amount will be paid in 3 installments, and at the termination of lease, lessor will get back the equipment. What is it trying to tell you is, out of 5 years life, lease period is 3 years, under 60% period. If only 60%, technically major only, but not convincing enough. Okay, so our life point can't convince anything, leave it. Next, amount will be paid in 3 installments, and at the end of the lease, the asset will go back to the lessor. Asset will go back to the lessor, and somebody tells you, out of your 5 situations, 2 situations are ruled out there. You know what is that? Automatically I becoming owner wala point gone. Option to buy the asset wala point also gone. Life point already gone. So 3 points out of 5 are failed for us. The UGRV he gave you, okay, IRR is 10%, PV factor, annuity factor and all he is giving you. He is asking, state with reason whether the lease constitutes finance lease. Now you see, sir, lease period, major portion of the life of the asset we don't know, leave that. Automatic ownership, not there. Option to buy, not there. Specialized nature asset, not there. You are left only with one. PV of MLPs, is it equal to substantial portion of the fair value of the asset today or not? Have to work out. What is there? Go and discount the lease rents and work out PV of MLPs. Read question 10 times also, you will not find the lease payments. Not there. He did not give you lease payment itself. Sir, then how will you work out, sir? Lease payment also, you only have to work out. First to work out lease payment. Then see whether PV of MLPs is equal to substantially the fair value of the asset or not. 2 things you have to do. Sir, this is difficult. No, sir. Not difficult. Let's see how difficult it is. Sir, I have a shortcut, but let's think from ICA point of view only, otherwise you'll feel bad. Okay, now assume lease rent is equal to X per annum. How many years lease is this? 3 years. As on today, did they give you fair value of the asset? How much is that? 3 lakhs. Nice. Here I will get some lease rent. Here I will get some lease rent. This is some lease rent. Lastly, GRV, UGRV, did they give you anything? Which one did they give you, ma? Unguaranteed they gave you. Ante GRV is not there, no? No problem. Not feel bad for that. Plus UGRV of how much? 40,000. Sir, do you agree that this plus this, the entire thing is GIL? Correct? The entire thing is GIL only. Question note, did they give you IRR? IRR on a word, is it there? How much is IRR? 10%. If you go back and check the definition of IRR, IRR is that discounting rate which equates the present value of MLBs and the present value of UGRV to the fair value of the asset, isn't it? So if I discount these cash flows with 10% and equate it to 3 lakhs, is it right only, no? Will I be able to work out X then? That's all, do it, what are you waiting? Definitions, if you are strong, then this and all will look very cheap. IRIL is equal to 10% per annum. So I will write it as 3 lakhs is equal to, there are X, sir, X into PVIFA 10% up to 3 years plus 40,000 into PVIF 10% third period. 3 lakhs is equal to X into 2.4868, that much only he gave, plus 40,000 into 0.7513, one also you can write, but leave it, whatever he gave, use that, because X basically we don't know. So X is equal to, sort out this, 40,000 into 0.7513 is 3 lakhs divided by 2.4868. Why did you get a very bad number? 40,000 into 0.75, okay, 7513, throw it there, 3 lakhs divided by 2.4868. Did you get 1,08,000 something? Okay. Who told 30,000 then? Or if you give wrong answers like that, I'll get confused now. 1,08,552 per annum. This is your lease rent. Chalo sir, lease rent we got. The first basic working notes are some look. No, the work note is done. From lessee point of view, PV of MLPs is equal to 108,552. How many times he has to pay 108,552? 3 times. Is there a GRV? Is there GRV in the sum? GRV is not there. Do one thing, sir. Safe side, this diagram lone insert somehow GRV is equal to 0. And the lessee did not guarantee anything at all. Lessor own feeling 40,000 or something. So can I do this, sir, here? Because every year I have to pay 108, like that for 3 years. So 108,552 into 2.4868. That's coming to 269,947 rupees. Below that only, right? What is the fair value of the asset today? 3 lakhs. Sir, 3 lakhs if it is the cost of the asset, you are almost paying 269,948. So go and check the percentage. Percentage of PVMLPs is equal to 269,947 divided by 3 lakhs into 100, which is almost equal to 90%. Then 90% of the cost you are paying to that fellow in the form of leasings. Is it substantially equal now? Yes. Therefore, PV of MLPs is substantially equal to the fair value of asset. Therefore, it is a finance lease. Nice. With this, what you solved is first bit. Sir, is the proper 8 marks question, sir. Good question. Second bit, what is he asking? In fact, once you see second question, first question answer you can answer. Unearned finance income is something you calculate only when it is a finance lease, no? So first question we can give an answer like that. If you are asking unearned finance income, then it can't be operating lease. It can be pakka finance lease. So all these calculations are in fact not required to get the final answer. Marks kavalante you have to write all this. Unearned finance income. Unearned finance income is from whose point of view? Lessee, lessor, inky pinky ponky will play. Lessor. Right formula. Unearned finance income formula is equal to, tell what is the formula? GIL minus nil. 1 by 1 work out, GIL nil, take difference. GIL is equal to 108 552 plus 108 552 plus 108 552 plus 0 plus 40,000. What is 0? GRV, the UGRV. These are your lease payments or lease receipts, either way you call it. 108 552 into 3 plus 40,000. Emma 365 656. Do you agree that in this interest income is there? Yes. Nil. Nil is present value of GIL. Calculate. And one should be really stupid in calculating that. Why? Look at the dabba above, sir. Our cash flows, if you discount, answer is 3 lakhs. Ade nil. Are you understand, sir? X only be found out by equating it through 3 lakhs. Again, you computing 1088552 ka present value is absolutely hopeless calculation. And no, sir, will still do. Why will you get some other answer? Ade 3 lakhs answer will come. Asala X itself you found out using that, no. How will you get a different answer? No, same answer will come. Anyway, your satisfaction, customer satisfaction important. The patiently, if you learn, the standard will come. Here and there, if you hurry, I will see and audit whether answer is right or not. Our type it will not work. Some standards work like that. Not this. Don't even compute and insult yourself. Still everybody is computing. Crowds in doubt only. Sir, this is perfectly your range question only. I mean, exam range, IPC range question only, because we did not do any extraordinary, sir. Definition is there. Which definition? IRIL definition. You know that, you can solve this. That's all. Nothing great. Cheap. 7th one will wait. 8th one you also wait. 9th, 10th will wait. 11th one also will wait. 12th one. So 12th one, okay. First to do, I'll tell you. Open that question. You'll be shocked if I tell you how easy I solved that. ABC Limited leases out an equipment whose fair value as on 1/1/2002 is 12 lakhs on start date. The agreed lease rent is 4 lakhs per annum for a period of 4 years. Expected UGRV at the end of lease term is 30,000. What is the implicit interest rate? So literally he is asking you IRIL. Yesterday this is the only thing which I did not teach you. Means I told that you have to apply trial and error and work out, but we did not do this. Okay, now look at the answer there. First column outflow he wrote, second column inflows he wrote, third column inflow ne, last column he total everything. Last row, last column, answer is how much? 13.32. That's all over. How did he get? Excel sheet lo is equal to IRR, brackets open and select everything, close brackets, enter kodte answer atla vadutundi sir. Adi Excel box sir adi. Okay, that fellow giving this as suggested answer or like IC example, like study matter example like this, the student will take Excel sheet to the exam hall. So this is not working. Our solution is as good as have not given you anything. So you have to solve. Chalo, right. 12th question. Zero. Today 12 lakhs. He did not open zeros. I would also not like to open that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every year 4 lakhs inflow. Plus here there is a UGRV of 30,000. Your job basically is, sir, to go and fetch one discounting rate which will equate these two. The discounting rate I want. I really do not know, but I have to do trial and error and get this. So where should I try? I don't know, randomly try any rate and see whether the present value of all that is matching to 12 lakhs or not. Like that 2 or 3 trials will definitely get the answer. Okay. Tell me, sir, what do you feel? How should I start? 10, 11, 12? No clue? Okay, I'll tell you an idea, listen. It always will not work, but rough idea it will get you. How much did you invest today on starting date as a lessor? 12. Overall, this is what you are getting. Add everything directly first. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, 16, 16.3. Until if I invest at 12, over a period I am getting 16.3. And how much return are you getting? Check. 16.3 lakhs I am getting if I am investing an amount of 12 and a 4.3 profit. Divided by 12 into 100. Percentage lo I want return. And this is 35.8%. Sir, did you understand this formula what I wrote? I invested 12 rupees today and bought the asset. The asset over a period is giving me 16.3 and the profit I am earning is 4.3 on an investment of 12. My profit rate is 35.8. That's actually not profit, as interest. But the 35.8 interest is for 1 year, all 4 years put together. And divide by 4 got sir. 8.95%. See, don't try it 8.95. This is wrong calculation, whatever I did. Just for feeler, sir. 8. You can try around 10%, 11% like that. Means, but don't start with 5 and all. 8.95, you will be higher, sir. Reason, I added all this. You will be having interest and all in this also. You cannot add like this and unitize like that. It's a rough calculation. Just to give you a feel, I am telling you. More than 10% you can try comfortably. So, since I can't help but see the answer, anyway, I'll try it 10%, leave it. Okay, right along with me. First trial at 10%. Sir, carefully understand, what is my goal? When I discount all that cash inflows, it should be equal to 12 lakhs. Are you understand, sir? This is our goal. Or FM point of view, we can say that NPV should be equal to 0. But if FM you don't know, don't worry. A present value or discounted value should be equal to 12 lakhs. That is my goal, sir. Let us try. Start, sir. PV of cash inflows is equal to 4 lakhs into PVIFA, 10% 4 years, plus 0.30 into PVIF, 10% 4th period. 4 into 1 divided by 1.10, first year, second year, third year, fourth year. 2.6830, 0.30, 3.1698, 3.1699. Sort out this. Pakka, this will not be the answer. 3.1699. I am having 12.88. What is my goal? I want it to be 12, but what I am having is 12.88. This is more than 12%. Since this is more than 12%, you failed here. Sorry, not 12%, 12 lakhs. Sir, I failed at 10%, sir. 10% is not my answer. At casual try, fail, no problem. One more trial. You guess, where should I try? 11 or 9? Ante higher or lower, you have to tell me first. Discounting rate, I should increase or decrease? Correctly understand. When I tried it 10%, I got 12.88. Correct? 10% the discounting and I did. Discounting ka meaning reduction, did I tell you? Yes, I want it to reduce further below. So rate should be higher, discount more, discount at a higher rate. Are you understanding, sir? So second trial, let's take at 12%. This time I'm directly writing annuity factor, sir. 1 divided by 1.12, 1, 2, 3, 4, GT, 3.0373 plus 0.30 into 0.7118 type another 0.6355. Safe side. 1, 2, 3, 4, correct. 4 into 3.0373. Oh shit. I got this. 12.15 lakhs. How much do I want? 12 lakhs. Just miss. Chalo. More than 12 lakhs. So you must try at a even higher rate. We tried 14, sir. 13 also risk we don't take. Directly 14 you go. Third trial at 14%. This time it should come off. 4 into 1 divided by 1.14. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0.5921 and GT now. Oh God, at last 11.83 lakhs. What I want is 11.83. Yeah? No. This is less than 12 lakhs. Meaning you unnecessarily discounted it with a higher rate. This much reduction don't do. You came below 12. So don't do it 14. My answer is less than 14. But at the same time my answer is more than 12% also. So my answer somewhere is in between 12 and 14. What is there, sir? 13. Wrong answer, sir. Not like that. 12 ki 14 ki wajah 13 hunda. 12.1, 12.2 like that. Anything can be your answer. So don't conclude 13 is your answer. So then how to get? From here you have to do some technique called as interpolation. So there is no harm in learning all this because all this is part of your FM, which is also in the same group. You got to learn it anyway. Always remember, sir, whenever you have to do interpolation, you should be taking that data where your answer is lying in between. For example, my answer is more than 12, but it is less than 14. E2 to interpolation cheyali, sir. Sir, why to take risk, sir? Let us try 2%. Pakka will fail. Let us try 20%. That also will fail. 2 ki 20k will interpolate. Will not work. Interpolation ki gap should be as less as possible. 12 ki 14 ki gap is how much? 2%. Okay. Yeah, 5% to 10% gaps if you take, answer also will be like that only. IRR answer is not accurate answer. No approximation is there. So gaps, the lower gap you take, accurate answer you will get. Okay, let us see. How to do interpolation is, sir, you don't by heart anything. Just watch, feel and do. At 12% discounting rate, what is your PV of cash inflows? 12.15 lakhs. At 14% discounting rate, my PV of cash inflows came down to 11.83 lakhs. Observation. For an increase of 2%, here PV of cash inflows decreased by, check the gap, 12.15 minus 11.83. 0. Which one is 12.3? The answer is not 12.15. That's 12.3. 12.33. From that time you are holding this in your mind. Sir, is that secret to hidden treasure? Sir, if there is mistake, you should spot. Ultimately you told no. Did you carry it till end of the class? No. Did you take it to your home? No. Ultimately you told. Should tell me immediately, no. See, for spotting a mistake, how I took revenge on you. Okay, joke, sir. If everything is wrong, let me know, okay? I'll never make conceptual mistakes. The calculator sometimes behaves hardly. Not mine. Okay. Carefully see, sir. 12.33 inch it became 11.83 for a 2% change. I want it to become from 12.33 inch it should come to 12. So what I will write is next line, no, desired PV of cash inflows decrease is 0.33 lakhs. How did I get this? 12.33 should become 12. If it has to decrease like that, here rate should increase by how much? Cross multiply, sir, cross multiply. 2% ki 0.5 movement ite. 0.33 movement if I want, how much increase should happen? Straight cross multiply, don't think much. This into this into this. Over answer. So that should be 2 into 0.33 divided by 0.5. $1.32. Hours are 1.32 our final answer. No, 1.32 is the increase what you want from 12%. Therefore, your IRR is equal to 12 plus 1.32. 13.32%. Like that you have to solve. Instead of solving so much, that fellow Excel sheet formula he applied. So it's okay. That fellow will do whatever he wants. But you must do only this. ఈ క్వశ్చన్ అంటే ఈ టైప్ మోడల్ క్వశ్చన్ ఇస్ దేర్ ఇన్ యువర్ స్టడీ మ్యాట్. It is there, otherwise I will not invest time. They did, one sum is there, IRR calculation, same type. My challenge to you, I took 12 and 14, no? Instead of 12 and 14, if you take 10 and 14, your answer is still lying between 10 and 14 only, no? Your answer will be this only, but it won't be exactly this, it will be nearer to this. And 13.15 or 13.18 or something like that you will not get this answer for sure. Sir, which one is correct? This one. The more near you are, the gap enta takunte accurate answer will be that accurate. I did 12 and 14 ka interpolation. No? If you do 13 and 14 ka interpolation, much more accurate answer you will get. It is better than this. So a gap, how much less it is, that much accuracy will be there. This is IRR calculation no basics. Nice. Next, 12th one. Sorry, 13th one. This is totally your zone, sir. Quickly finish it off. AS 26, AS 29 and all, I have shown you solutions and I left. I have theory type sums, sir. You practical, this you cannot see and leave. Solution just casually give. You have to solve. Read. Global has initiated a lease for 3 years for an equipment costing 150 with a life of 4 years. The asset would revert to Global under the lease agreement. So after 4 years, asset will come back to me. I am lessor here. The other information available in respect of the lease is UGRV given 20,000, IRIL given. Annual payments have been determined in such a way that PV of lease payment plus residual value will be equal to the cost of the asset. Asala line is not required. He need not tell you that. If he is telling that this is 10%, the implied PV of MLPs plus PV of UGRV will be bloody equal to your cost of the asset, which is nothing but the fair value as on today. That will be equal, sir. Other definition of IRIL. Still, he is considerate towards you. He loves you. Gave it to you. Ascertain in the hands of Global Limited annual lease payment, unearned finance income, and segregation of finance income. Segregation of finance income means each installment low, how much interest income is there, you have to work out. How will you work out that? A table is there, a table you prepare. A table automatically interest will come out. Show how necessary items will appear in P&L and the balance sheet for various years. Chalo, that presentation is a say final question, sir, don't worry. First, anyway, work out the lease payment, quick. Earlier we did no, sir, same sum, literally same sum. Numbers are different. Work note number 1. He's asking you lease rent, no? Okay, fine. Assume lease rent is equal to X per annum. Therefore, what is the cost of the asset? 1,50,000. 1,50,000 is equal to X into how many years lease? 4 years. PVIFA 10%, 4 periods, plus what is the UGRV? 20,000. I think the sum is half of previous sum. Half means the numbers half, sir. 3.1699. He gave a, you only felt a, but if I do that, 1 divided by 1.10, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, GT, 3.16986 and 3.1699 only. That fellow wrote 3.1697, but leave him, he's wrong. 20,000 into the 0.683 anyway. Which one here? Lease is not for. No. Lease is for 3. Useful life is 4 years. Lease is only for 3 years. True, sir. My mistake. Correct. So here you should take only 3. This is hurry. And consequently wrong answers. My mistake, sir. Please correct it. X into, how much is this? 2.4869 now? 69 only. 20,000 into 0.7513. Then why did that fellow write that? Let him die. That's the wrong answer. Chalo, sort out this ma. 20,000 into 0.7513 is equal to minus plus 1,50,000 divided by 2. Entama 54,274. 54. Correct. 54,274 is equal to lease rent per annum. Very good, sir. This is done. Next, unearned finance income he wants. Okay. First GIL you get me. GIL is equal to 54,274 plus 54,274 plus 54,274 plus 0 plus 20,000. So 54,274 into 3 plus 20,000. 182,822. Now what I want is nil. Nil you need not calculate. Why you need not calculate? If you discount everything, you will get 1,50,000 only. That's why you not calculate. Unearned finance income is equal to 182,822 minus 1,50,000 and madi 32,822. Second bit is also done. Then he is asking segregation of income. Sir, if you want income of each year, you basically have to prepare a lease receivables statement, sir. Statement of lease receivables. Earlier we prepared the same thing for lessee. Lease liability we prepared. Now lessor we are preparing. His solution, I don't know how it got like this. What happened, ma? No, solution is wrong, don't worry. He solved the sum thinking that lease period is also 4 years. Everywhere, in fact, our statement also he made it for entire 4 years, no? So, a mistake only. Definitely it is. And in fact, there is no, like, nothing is given that there is an extension of lease and all. Pakka 3 years lease only. Don't worry. Right only. Do it. Particulars 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Opening balance of lease receivables. Tell me, sir, lease receivable entry you will record with what amount? First entry, lessor books. Lease receivables account debit to asset. The entry will be recorded at nil. Nil into 0. Net investment in lease. That's nothing but fair value of the asset. So starting point will be 1,50,000. Add interest income at the rate of, what is the rate at which I am charging interest? 10%. 10%. So that is 15,000 minus lease payment received. First year he will be paying, every year he will be paying the same amount, 54,274. Closing balance. ఎంతమ్మా 110,726. ఓకే, $67,525. 67,525. Now listen to here carefully. ఇది పక్కా సార్, లెస్సీ విల్ పే యూ దిస్. బట్ ఈ 1,50,000 క్యాలిక్యులేషన్లో నాట్ ఓన్లీ దీస్ త్రీ, వన్ యూజీఆర్వి ఆల్సో ఇస్ దేర్. యూజీఆర్వి లెస్సీ విల్ నాట్ పే, కరెక్ట్ నో? సో ఆ యూజీఆర్వి కీప్ ఇట్ అవుట్ స్టాండింగ్ 20,000, ది అవుట్ స్టాండింగ్ టు ది ఎక్స్టెంట్ ఆఫ్ యూజీఆర్వి. ఇది బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ ఫిగర్ పెట్టుకోండి సార్. Directly also if you do, more or less same answer only will come, but safe side. 74,274 minus 67,525. 67,490 if I take, it will be perfectly matching to your UGRV. If e sum of GRV is there, then e number should be equal to GRV plus UGRV, because whether lessee will pay that or not, it depends on what is the value of the asset. So this story, sir. So since he asked us balance sheet extract or financial statement representation, just do it what is there. Easy only. If it is difficult, I will not make you do. Finance income, just only one word will be there in P&L account, nothing else. 15,000, 11,073, 6749. That's it, over. The P&L extract. Similarly, extract of balance sheet asset side. First year ending, second year ending, third year ending. So under current assets, always you can write first lease receivable within 12 months from today. Your comfort, I am telling you, it is total lease receivable. Or this you can fill up later on, don't worry. Lease receivable within next 12 months, how will we know? You already prepared a table, no sir? Our table of first year closing balance is how much? 110,726. Of this 110,726, how much are you going to collect within the next 12 months? This. But in this, interest is also there. So how much principal amount is going to come within the next 12 months? That alone you have to record. Correct? So how to get that, ma? Tell me calculation please. 54,274 minus 11,073. Yeah? So 43201. This is current portion. Lease receivable beyond 12 months. This balancing figure, sir. The next year ka closing also you can take. That also will work. 67,525. Or what I suggest is, ఈ టోటల్ ప్లేస్లో యూ రైట్ దిస్ 110,726 and this automatically will be a kind of a balancing figure for you. If you work out this part correctly, current part, non-current will be balancing figure for you. The easy version to do it. Second year, Papa. Chalo. Second year ending, sir, 67,525 I have. Carefully if you observe, already I am standing at the end of second year. Lease period is only one more year. Everything is current only. There is no non-current portion. So 67,520 completely current. Because lease is getting over in next 1 year. By this third year ending, your outstanding balance is just coming to only 20,000, representing the UGR. That's it, sir. This is your presentation. So guys, that's it for today's session, sir. We'll continue the next session and we'll finish off leases next session. Thank you, guys.